We are live. We are live. You are tuned in to Live in the DTV. Yes, yes. Thank you for joining us today. Today, today on the feed on Live in the DTV, we are joined by Miss Z Scott, better known as, also known as the SEO Queen. So she is search engine optimization queen. And just looking to give you a little bit about her breakdown. The SEO Queen is a digital marketing and technology service provider. That helps businesses of all sizes. There's no job too large or too small. They have the technology, resources, and strategies to help your business grow 20 to 400%. Their clients and team is diverse, and they serve a global business base that wants to expand their digital footprint locally, nationally, and even internationally. From website design to SEO and mobile apps, the SEO Queen has solutions, books, and software to help you own your niche. Click now to learn how they can help your business grow from 7.8, 7 or 8, or even 9 figures. And she is joining us today, Miss SEO Queen herself. Ms. Z Scott, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you so much for joining us. So, we got a breakdown of your business, but tell us a bit about you. Like, how did you get into SEO? What makes you the SEO queen? And yeah, tell us a little bit about something maybe we don't know that I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of discussion because there's SEO, there's AI, there's SEM, and all that breakdown. And how did you get into it though?
Right. So I grew up as a child with computers. I would spend my summers, programming in BASIC. I
Mm,
built my first website in 1996 as an undergrad at MIT.
okay.
And that really opened my eyes to the power and the value of the World Wide Web. And, for me, I thought it was pretty amazing to be able to put up this web page that
Right.
anybody anywhere in the world could view
Right.
with a web browser.
Yeah.
So that really blew me away, and so I really started learning everything I could about you know online technology. But I had started out, you know, programming computers. I had
Hmm.
an Atari, a Commodore. I used a program called PFS Write to type up my papers in the fourth grade. I was the only student, the first student to turn in typed papers. And I've just been using computers, word processors since I was a child.
Okay. So computers, word processors since the 90s, graduated from MIT.
No, earlier than that.
All right.
Earlier than that.
Earlier than
Since
that.
I was nine.
Since you were 9 years old. All right. So from computers to program. So how do you discover like programming and SEO is where you want it to be though from that whole journey? Because I mean, we talk about IT. That's a whole monster. That's a deep hole we
Right.
could get
So
into.
when
But
I was an undergrad at MIT, I saw people like how they all they did was work. I
yeah,
mean, programming all the time.
right,
And I enjoy programming, but
right,
I also enjoyed business strategy as
yes,
well. So I decided to major instead of computer science, I majored in information technology management science. And so as I went through my career, I worked with Capgemini, I've worked with a lot of companies, Aramark, and more web application developer for and just building out websites. However, in the early 2000s, when Google was starting to become a thing,
right.
I I paid attention a little bit, but I finally really got on board about 8 9 years later. That's when I really started to get into SEO.
Right. And how has from when you were again in the early 2000s when Google was just kind of getting its like legs or growing not
Hmm.
into the large conglomerate that it is today, but again, I think back then it was Axe, Yahoo, Google. We didn't have Bing yet, I don't think.
No, Bing
But
came later.
Yahoo was actually bigger than Google
Yeah, I
at that
use
time.
Yahoo all the time. A dog pile, all
Right.
just
Oh man, I forgot
those
about
are the
Dogpile.
throwback.
Axe G's was mine.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
Ask Jeeves, that's another one. Yeah. So I mean, I use a lot of those throwback search
Yeah.
engines, but Google has about 80% of the market share now.
Yeah.
And the number of searches that people are making, search engines just continues to grow. Google has about 2 trillion that are happening on an annual basis on its platform. So that's a whole lot of traffic that business owners can tap into. I call it the digital demand.
Absolutely.
That they can bring the supply of their products and services to.
Absolutely. So that goes to my next question. Again, in the early 90s when we had multiple choices, now Google is the go-to. Google, you think use in this, say even the term, Google it. It's not search it, it's Google it.
Right. So like how we call tissues Kleenex, no
right.
matter what brand it is, or copy and paper, we call it, can you Xerox this for me? Xerox.
Right. So how did that work in the from your professional opinion and your knowledge, from Google being just kind of one of the competitors to now it's the largest one, it's the one we go to no matter what we're saying Google it. We could go to Bing or Yahoo, but you're saying Google it. So what was that strategy?
What I see happening in the market right now is that Google has about 90%, 89 to 90% of the search market.
Right.
But what I'm seeing now with the rise of AI, is I'm seeing, that people are starting to go to ChatGPT and Gemini to search for information. So it's now SEO is even more important than ever because ChatGPT and Gemini is owned by Google. So just like it's important to have a presence on YouTube, it's important to have a presence in the AI, which means your brand has to be optimized so you actually come up in the chat.
So let's talk about that for a while. And we're now in this. We went again from the search boom. We saw AI, I think, start with kind of the iPhones and the hey Siri, hey Alexa.
Yeah, the voice search.
Right, but now the voice search. But now we got ChatGPT, Gemini, and information. It was already at our fingertips when we just had Google, YouTube. Now it's like type in a prompt. It'll help write you a whole business plan, a whole workout routine. I mean, recipes. So this AI boom that we're in now, how is that changing and going to change SEO and how we do business from your perspective?
Well, I think the biggest thing that AI is doing in terms of transformation for commerce is the fact that it doesn't take as many people and doesn't take as long to accomplish certain tasks. So what that means is when you have to be more creative with your business model. You have to be more creative and faster with your output. And so I think AI, it doesn't have the cultural competency that you would have as a human being with your lived experience and bringing that to whether you're programming, writing, brainstorming, whatever the case may be. However, AI is a great way to brainstorm and to create a scaffolding for you to put your cultural competency and ideas.
And I think that's what a lot of people were and even still are hesitant and worried about, was like AI is going to take over a movie scripting and writing. And I had to tell one of my team members, no, I use ChatGPT to hey, give me 30 ideas for how to talk to an SEO specialist about what they do. That's not ChatGPT doing the show for. That's ChatGPT giving me some questions, some ideas. So I had to tell our team, was like, hey, if you have an idea, write it up and then put it in ChatGPT, and it's gonna give you 12 other ideas. So you don't have to spend days and weeks anymore trying to boggle your mind on especially our business is very heavily content based, right? You don't spend that anymore. I see you have a lot of blogs and newsletters. We no longer have to spend all that, and we can spend the time again. That's the business strategy. But what about the creative side of the business? You can spend all that time kind of recreating these things. So AI is definitely a tool to be used. It's not I don't think it's going to be this big takeover like we were worried about when it first we first started hearing about ChatGPT on the rise and everything.
Well, AI is both over and underhyped. And I think time will ultimately show how diligent it is to be about it. I can tell you personally that it has positively impacted my business because we've been able to get so much more done
Right.
with less hands on deck.
Yeah.
So I read a report that I think businesses anticipate about 40% of businesses surveyed and anticipate reducing their staffing
Mm-hmm.
going into the next,
Yeah.
5 and 10 years.
Right.
So it's really important. If you're not a computer person or a tech person, it's really important for you to learn these tools because people are using these tools more and more and more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I say, then that's what said, I think that was a scary thing. People was like, oh, I'm going to lose my job to AI. It's like, no, if you're a small business or a freelancer, you're small, that's actually perfect for you. Because now you can have this assistant, you can have admin work, you can have admin assistants, again, your newsletters, your editing. You have all that in AI. You don't need a staff of 2, 3, 5 people to do that job. You can shrink it down. And even if you have a staff to kind of do that, that just helps them, like the proofreading, the wording. I had it do something, kind of put some, I was writing a the other day, a term GPT, just get some a little. That's its job. Paper. So I
Yeah.
new to us. We probably had it for years because that's how it always is.
Business model for about 2 years now.
Okay.
No, more like a year and a half.
All right.
Yeah.
All
A
right.
year and a half.
Okay. So let's say somebody younger than, like, I'm old now, I'm 30. Younger than me, fresh out of school, 19, 20-year-old, they want to get into content creation or clothes design, and they have this brilliant idea for a shirt, t-shirt. They only got a $300 budget. What would you kind of strategize and tell them? They got a laptop and they say, hey, I want to start this brand. I think it'd be really big. It's earth conscious. It's all these things. Where do I start with all the AI and the SEO?
Well, if they only have $300,
Okay.
I recommend that they go to SEOQueen.com and
Excellent.
download my 40 Steps to Google Page One, get that ebook,
All right.
and then build a website. Since their budget is small, they want to register a domain
Mm-hmm.
and probably do a drop ship store.
Yeah.
That's what I would
Yeah,
do.
that's what I would do.
So you don't have to invest any in inventory with $300. I mean, buy a domain, put up a drop shipping store, and then promote like everywhere. You can't just put a website up and expect people to come to it.
Nope.
You have to create content. You have to put products on there. I actually just launched my own clothing line back in October last year.
Okay.
It's called the Emerald Rainbow.
Okay.
You can find it at theemeraldrainbow.com, and it's on Google Page One for the Emerald Rainbow, but I still have to add more content, optimize the clothing. There's only 5 designs available on that website, but I still have to optimize it. So.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that, the Emerald Rainbow. Why? How? What's it about? This clothing.
Well, the Emerald Rainbow is it's a really fun outerwear line.
Right.
I can't wait to. I have this dress design that I've been kind of, it's been rolling around in my mind, but I have to get it out. But it's all about green, and if you can see my nails, they're all green. Where's the camera?
It's right here. Right there.
Camera. Here's my nails are green. And so if you read Revelations, the 4th chapter, the 3rd verse, it talks about how there's this. It describes the throne room of God and God sitting on the throne with this emerald rainbow around the throne. And so that was my inspiration for this brand.
Okay, so it's a biblical aspect to it, but it's also the fun outerwear line that people can wear and work out in
with a complete green rainbow.
Okay, with a green rainbow. All right, I'm gonna check it out. That might actually be great for our brand here, the Live in the DTV. We have a clothing brand as well, or we're building it up to be more than that. It's a directory of Black businesses, and we want more brands to be on our website and partner with, especially ones that come about it after on a break. So I think that's something that's definitely could be good for our channel as well. So we're definitely gonna check it out. The emeraldrainbow.com is Miss Z's website for her clothing. We gonna quick break and come back when I have more conversation with Miss Scott on SEO and designs and what else he wants to talk about. We'll be right back. Take a quick commercial break.
I met you for the first time I feel
Yeah, that's the independent artist.
The way I feel, I can keep nothing from you. The kind of love.
Is there anything we missed so far? Anything particularly you want to talk about? Okay, all right.
The kind of love.
I talk about the impact of SEO on my clients. Okay.
Yeah. And then of course, yeah, and then I'm gonna ask you, of course, where we can find you and give them all your information.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I gotta let you know that you're the one I gotta let you know that you're the one. The one. Mm. You could be the one, you're the one. You could be the one for me. You could be the one, you're the one. You could be the one for me.
Z Scott, also known as the SEO Queen. And she's been talking to us about SEO, AI, the market. Google is giving us a lot of gems and a lot of knowledge in her own clothing brand, the emeraldrainbow.com, which we will be checking out in the upcoming weeks. All right, but before we let it go, before we're out of time, Miss Scott, tell us about, again, a little bit more about you, but personally the business. What's some success stories you have, some interesting stories you have on when a customer came in and you were like, yes, I will get you there.
All right. So I had this client some years ago.
Mhm.
They were in the aerospace
Oh.
metals industry.
Okay.
Website. We're about 200 pages got placed on their domain and indexed. And so to throw domain away, I was to successfully index all those pages,
Right.
secure their back. I'm really proud of that. Before strategy was making out of SEO, and he has a wait list.
Nice. Yeah. Well, that's
one other success. For Color Girls.
Yes.
You remember that movie?
Yeah.
That it was based on the core poem that Ntozake Shange wrote. And so Ntozake Shange's estate a few years ago contacted me and asked me to optimize their website. And so I was able to successfully get their website completely revamped and optimized for Google Page 1 for several of the terms and phrases that people are searching for with regards to Ntozake Shange.
Say that again.
Ntozake Shange.
Ntozake Shange.
Ntozake
Shange.
Yeah.
Okay. I was familiar with the story. I was not familiar. That's the artist that wrote it.
Yeah, she's the playwright.
She's the playwright. Okay. Ntozake Shange. Okay. Right. I'm gonna ask you. I'm not gonna embarrass myself anymore. I'm gonna ask you how to spell that after we go off. Okay, and where obviously, so we have all this knowledge that you in expertise. You gave us your success story, your background. So now I'm sure some of my audience wants to know. They're probably at their fingertips. Where can they find you? Where can we go to book an appointment? Book that. So it's a consultation call or something at first?
So the first 15 minutes are free.
Okay.
And you can always go to SEOqueen.com and click on Speak to the SEO Queen in the upper right-hand corner and hop on my schedule.
All right. Sounds pretty simple.
Yeah.
Simple and
straightforward. You can go to any of the social media in the footer of SEOqueen.com, on Instagram, and just all the networks. I'm the SEO Queen, and you can message me there as well.
The SEO Queen. Now, obviously, it stands out, but I do have to ask you the title, SEO Queen. How did we come up with that and why?
Okay, so some years ago, I was working for this.
Yes.
And I was doing at the time, and to build. I had to do something different.
Yeah.
And so after I resigned and moved to California, I was brainstorming with one coach for Hey, and we started kicking some names around, and he came up with the SEO Queen, and I found that there really wasn't anybody online with that name. And so my first domain was the SEOqueen.net.
Okay.
And then I was gifted by one of my clients with SEOqueen.com.
Mm.
And so that's my current website.
All right. And it took off from there.
Yep.
Great story. Man.
Yep.
From food stamps to the queen of SEO, $1 million book of business. When you first started?
Well, when I was working for the other company,
when you were working for the other company, but you were able to put that together.
Yeah, I mean, my company, since I've launched in 2017, we've driven about $250 million worth of revenue for all of our clients over the years. But our book of business is smaller than that.
Well, it's the implementation is one thing, but it's the if you believe, if you can conceive it, you can achieve it. So if you seem like obviously you have the success stories, you have the experience. So I'm gonna say it's $1 million book of business just based off of your expertise and experience. Or over that, for well over, you said $250 million, from what you've given your clients, the revenue that you've been able to obtain for them. So that's probably $1 billion now worth from when you started back in 2017. That's almost 10 years ago. So yeah, okay. Miss Z, we thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything else with us before we let you go?
Well, I just want to thank you for having me on.
Absolutely.
I want to give a shout out to my clients. I very much enjoy working with them, and I look forward to chatting with you. If your website isn't becoming to you, should be to me. The SEO.
All right.
I would love to.
All right, good. So work with SEO Queen. Go to SEOqueen.com and book an appointment with the Queen. First 10 minutes are free, then you got to pay. No, first 10 minutes are free, and you see she's got a lot of knowledge, a lot of gems, and it's going to help get your website there from 6 to 7 to 8-figure, even 9-figure businesses. The SEO Queen is the person you want to work with. And we thank you so much again for joining us today. We're going to take another commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to get Mr. Abdul's final thought, and that's it. Take a commercial break. Good. All right. All right. We are back. We are back on Live and DT. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, be sure to check out the SEOqueen.com to talk to Miss Z Scott and her team about how they can help your business needs with growing your website, your pages, your landing pages, and all that information. Jabril, Mr. Abdul is gonna come up with us to us and speak to us about his final thought today. What do you got first, Mr. Abdul? Let's see.
Just stay focused on keep doing positive things and get it done.
All right, stay focused, do positive things, and get it done. I like leave it us today.